guys, welcome back to the Bluestone Villa and to another episode, we'll call it, of Christmas at the Bluestone Villa. If you're new here, hi, my name's Louisa and I share videos on our DIY renovations, interiors and life in our Victorian house. As you can see, we've got our Christmas decorations up and today's video is a Christmas home decor tour. I'm also going to be sharing some of our kind of traditions that we partake in the lead up to decorating and as kind of part of the decorating, including making my own kind of fresh foliage wreath and how I do that. If you are here purely for the Christmas home decor tour, then I will pop the timestamp down below so that you can kind of skip ahead as I'll be doing that at the end. Hope you enjoy the video, guys. We are off to get our Christmas tree. Usually we do this at the garden centre, but we're trying out a new place today. It is called Mitre Farm in Fordcombe near us in Tunbridge Wells, and you actually get to go and pick the tree and then they cut it down for you. So I'm really excited to do that. I feel like it's a bit of a festive treat. The weather has not been great here, but it is perking up right now. So I think we've picked the perfect window to go and do this. So we're going to pick this up and then we'll leave it outside for the next week before we decorate it next weekend. Just picked our tree and I'm just standing with it until whilst James goes and gets the guy. It was quite hard. They're all planted really close together, which I feel like when you see stuff like this in the States, they're a lot further apart and it feels like they're all quite narrow, and some of them like feel like the tops are really like sparse up top. So it wasn't quite as we anticipated. It's quite nice to come out and actually pick it yourself, but yeah, I don't know, we struggled. We did walk around quite a lot of them and turned away quite a lot, but we picked this one. Happy decorating Christmas tree day. I have been so looking forward to this, and I had grandiose plans as per usual to cook up something special for us whilst we decorate it, just because in my house my family would have kind of like cheese fondue or something like that. But I've been doing DIY all day, so that's not happening. So I've just gone to Marks & Spencer's and picked up a couple of nice little bits and pieces. So we've got some sausage rolls, some of the dinky cheese and onion sausage rolls from Marks & Spencer's. I've shown these before and they are my absolute favourites. We're trying this for the first time, which is an M&S special for Christmas, and it's black garlic chorizo. There's something has just smashed in the living room. We've got a cheddar and truffle, a smoked cheddar because James will love that, and a dolciolata. I've just got some French stick and also a smoked salmon kind of pate. James probably will turn his nose up at that, but I absolutely love stuff like that. A nice little treaty feast for decorating the Christmas tree this evening. And a reason why I need kind of a wine fridge or a champagne fridge is that we've got so many bottles of wine and quite a few bottles of champagne, some cheaper as well. And I didn't even think that I would fancy anything like that, so I didn't put anything in the fridge. So I ended up buying just a cheap bottle of champagne from Marks & Spencer's, just because I just really fancied it. So I'm going to pour myself a glass of this. It was just £15 in Marks & Spencer's. I'm not going to even pretend to you that my house is tidy and spotless, because it's just not the reality of my life right now. I just need to kind of get over it and just embrace the moment, and I can tidy up more tomorrow and give you a tour once all the decks are up as well. Cheers, friends. Nothing beats the tree first thing in the morning. Good morning. It's Monday now. We've finished decorating the tree on Saturday evening, but it was quite late. I've got a bit of tidying up to do in that room. It's been one of those weekends. Every weekend is one of those weekends. I'm actually creating a wreath this morning. It's 2 wreaths. I've got one that somebody's ordered, and then I'm also making one for James's mum because she's not been very well, so I'm just making it to kind of cheer her up. I made my own about a week ago. Yes, I'm making those up this morning. It's quite simple to do if you can be bothered to do it yourself, obviously. I've just got the rings from Hobbycraft, and you need florist wire and some kind of live moss or natural moss, which you can get from like garden centre and stuff. And then all of the foliage, some of it is left over from our wreath making about a week ago, so a mixture of kind of from my parents' garden and some of their surrounding kind of area, and then otherwise most of it is also from the Bluestone Villa garden. So yeah, I'll flip you around so you can kind of see the mass. I might have to go out and forage for a little bit more to do the 2 that I need, because you do actually use quite a lot of stuff. So, excuse our Hoover. Here is one of my wreaths. I get so nervous when I make them for like paying customers, because I just feel like I just get nervous that like they're randomly going to fall apart or something, or they're not going to be what they expected. So I really like this kind of rustic, like plush, kind of very elegant, fresh foliage type wreath. And I kind of have mirrored all of them on like what I wanted for mine this year, which is I wanted kind of some gold fleckers. So I'm actually not very good at drying oranges in the oven. I burn them. But that's then therefore kind of why then I've painted them gold. But I actually think that looks gorgeous. And then we've got some hydrangeas as well that are kind of there at the end of the season. So they're just from like the garden, and then I've painted those gold as well, just to kind of bring them to life a little bit more. And then I've been selling them with different types of velvet ribbon, so either a dark blue, a dark green, or kind of like a burgundy kind of deep red, which is what I'm going to give to James's mum, or like that's what I'm going to put on her wreath. And then kind of they're all a bit similar, but on the same level, like I just try and kind of obviously bring out certain colours dependent on the colour ribbon chosen. So this woman went for a dark green, and so I thought it would be nice to have a bit of a pop of colour. So we've got some brighter red berries in comparison to mine, which has this kind of like pale orange ones. I'm really chuffed with it, but it's just so nerve-wracking. Being a bit more free with James's mum's, because obviously this is like just a gift to her, so it's going to be fine. Like, she's not paid for it, so it's not like she's going to be like, Louisa, everything fell apart. But yeah, I've just got this huge fear that will happen, which is so stupid. I thought you might like to see what it looks like kind of in progress. This is an in progress wreath. Bit of an unorthodox setup we've got here. So I didn't want to move my
decorations on the table. So basically I just covered it with half, but that was a mistake. I should have just moved it all because I'm not giving myself enough room. However, I quite often end up on the floor anyway, just because I feel like you can get like a better perspective, like looking down at it, which is so ridiculous. But yeah, so this is what it's like. So you get the ring and then you kind of wrap the wire, you put the moss on and kind of wrap the wire around the moss, and then yeah, you start adding your foliage. So kind of my method is that I start to add kind of like bunches of foliage to get like a really good solid base, and then I start to add to it. So if there are places that I feel like there needs to be some more foliage, then I'll add that in. But also equally, these are kind of the extra bits that we'll be putting on, which is kind of the gold hydrangeas and the gold oranges. So it's also kind of, I start mapping out then where they go. And then let me show you the ribbon. So then this is the colour ribbon for James's mum. I suppose it is kind of a pinky colour, but it's coming out more pink on screen than it is in real life. So yeah, so that's kind of what will go on that, and I think that will look lovely because James's mum has got kind of like an aqua type kind of colour on her windows and doors, so I feel like this will look really lovely against that.
And now let's start our Christmas home decor tour. So I thought I'd start with our outside lights. We've got way more outside this year than we did last year, but this year I've placed quite a number of lights all along our kind of buxus hedges that line our drive. And you'll also see that I've placed a few over our window boxes that sit beneath our bay window at the front of our house. This is where our lavender usually grows, and yeah, I just think it looks really lovely, even if you can't see it so much unless you're actually coming up to our house. Our whole street has actually got some really lovely lights, and they have been making me feel really joyful in what can only be described as a really challenging time for us all. And then we make our way to our front door, which of course has one of my fresh foliage wreaths up here. It's not looking as pristine as it was when I first made it because I did make this a week or so ago now, and I should really be spritzing it every few days to keep it at its optimum freshness, and I haven't been doing that. But as you can see here, it's kind of got lots of greenery in it, lots of the eucalyptus from our garden. I've got the gold hydrangeas and the gold oranges, and I've adorned it with a dark blue velvet bow for us, obviously because we're the Bluestone Villa. And yeah, I'm really chuffed with it. And then as we come into the hallway, I really like it in here because it feels very tranquil and peaceful, but still a little bit festive as well. I adorn my stairs with a few little items that kind of on those first set throughout the year, but I kind of try and switch up what I put there seasonally. So for the Christmas period, we have got this beautiful kind of little white winter house in a close jar. It lights up. I think I need to put some new batteries in this actually. James bought this for me at kind of a local Christmas fair a few years ago. He tends to buy me a decoration a year if there's one I see that I particularly like. I think it looks really lovely against the white on the stairs as well. I also have the White Company winter candle, which of course is a festive staple for many at this period of time. And then finally, I've switched it up this year and done something a bit different on the lowest step, which is I've used my kind of old vintage marmalade jar that I bought from Weathered and Worn, which is a beautiful Bracanti store in Hadlow near us, and I've got the single hydrangea that I've actually spray painted in a gold, and I just think it looks kind of elegant whilst also being a little bit rustic and festive. As we come up to the top of the stairs, I have a lantern up here. And then if we turn right from the hallway, we go into the dining room. So in here, I've got a fair few sets of twinkly lights and some decorations that I've kind of bought in the last year. So first of all, we have these beautiful kind of rusty stars. Again, I bought these from Weathered and Worn. I thought about hanging these initially from our mirror above our fireplace. That was kind of my idea for them when I first bought them last last year, just before Christmas. Last year we hung them like this below kind of the mantelpiece on the fireplace, and I actually think that works really nicely. I think rusty stars like this are quite versatile in the fact that you could really have these up somewhere all year round and they would look absolutely gorgeous. But I do also think they're kind of perfect to kind of add a little bit of Christmas feel in this room. So I am saving them just for Christmas, and I have bought them out just for this particular time of year. I also have my hops, which I bought from Castle Farm in Shoreham in Kent. I put these up probably in September time when I came to purchase these, and I should have really just put twinkly lights up on these from the get-go because I think it kind of works all year round like that. Hop picking was huge, and people from London would come down to Kent in the summer holidays, kind of back in the Victorian times and later, as part of like their holiday, and it would be kind of a working holiday, and they would come and help the farms pick the hops. So it's kind of got a real kind of historic reference in terms of like the area we live in. And finally, we have the 2 candlesticks that we bought from a local little vintage shop called the Green Duck in Tunbridge Wells that's opened up this year. So I've put these on the dining room table here, and then I've just used some fresh greenery that's probably not as fresh now. It's a little bit dried out either side. And again, I've used some table lights, twinkly lights to put on these. Then across the hallway is our living room, and I really love kind of catching a glimpse of the Christmas tree like this when you come down the stairs. In terms of kind of our Christmas decor in our living room, obviously we have the traditional Christmas tree, which we picked up a real one from the Christmas tree farm that I showed you earlier in this video. Last year, we had a beautiful garland that I made across this marble fireplace, and I had considered doing it again this year, but truth be told, we've just had so much going on that I'm kind of at the point where I just feel like it's a bit excessive, and I kind of almost, I hate to say it, can't be bothered to do it this year, and I think I'm going to hold off and do something spectacular next year. I'll try and insert a picture of what we did last year for this. On the mantelpiece instead, I just have a couple of these kind of gorgeous candlesticks that I picked up in the autumn time, all of our Christmas cards that we've got so far, and then also my gorgeous little Christmas mouse that I recently purchased from the Green Duck as well. I've got a bit of an obsession with kind of felt or knitted mice, and I'm starting to kind of get one for almost every season of the year, and this is my Christmas one. And then on the hearth, I have this sparkly little hedgehog that was another gift from James as one of my annual Christmas decoration gifts. In terms of the Christmas tree, we're not the kind of people that have kind of a specific theme each year. We collect our decorations over time, so we tend to have kind of our general basic baubles. I've gone with some red ones. I've also got some gorgeous little kind of jingle bell ones that are in kind of silvers, golds, and a slight glitter effect. And then we add with kind of our own personal decorations that we've collected over time. So a lot of these really mean something. They signify a certain time in our lives, or a special gifts that we've given each other, or that we've received from our own families as we've grown up as well. And then my final little touch in the living room is on our coffee table. I haven't done this in years, but I've put cloves in our oranges, which is something I would do as a child at my family home, and something that my mum still does as well. I really love the aroma that this gives off, and it's also just such a little festive addition. I think you could probably make it even nicer with some kind of added red ribbon or something wrapped around these. I've also got a lovely little decoration that I picked up from a local gift store, and some festive candles adorning this space as well. And that's it for our Christmas home decor tour, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed seeing how we decorate the house for Christmas. And yeah, I just want to wish everyone a merry and safe Christmas, and hope that you can enjoy your home as much as possible.